Once a consumer has been exposed to a marketing offering or message, they may next pay attention to it. By attention, we mean the process by which a person devotes mental resources to a stimulus to process it. Just like exposure, attention is selective. A consumer may choose not to pay attention to a stimulus that he's been exposed to if the stimulus is not relevant, or if the consumer has been exposed to it many times and is no longer interested. Since attention requires mental activity, it is a precious, limited resource. We can only attend to a few things at the same time. That is why, for example, in most countries, the use of mobile phones while driving is banned. The traditional view has been that even though attention is limited, it can still be divided. We can still multitask or attend to more than one task at the same time. However, the latest research suggests that this is not actually very accurate. It is not that our attention is divided between two tasks. It is rather that we switch attention very rapidly from one task to another. But this unfortunately comes at a cost of higher mental energy, which is necessary to perform the switching. Now, most of the time, we focus our attention on only one task or object at a time. This task or object gets what we call our focal attention. For example, if you're now focusing on this slide, and the text on the slide and my voice receive your focal attention. However, you're probably simultaneously exposed to various other stimuli in the background. For example, with your peripheral vision, you may see or hear a commercial about, let's say, a new brand of chips playing on TV, if the TV in your room is on. So this commercial may still receive some, even though very limited, attention. This kind of attention we call non-focal attention. It is often non-conscious in the sense that we process the information automatically without being aware of it when it is in our peripheral vision and not focal. So this is why this kind of processing is also referred to as pre-attentive processing. So the question then is, can non-focal stimuli processed pre-attentively still have an impact on us? For example, could the chips commercial to which you paid no attention at all still influence your behavior in some way? Well, now we know that information processed pre-attentively may still have some, even though very limited, impact. For example, if you see this new brand of chips that was advertised on TV while you were listening to the lesson, if you see it in the supermarket, it may seem familiar to you, even though you don't remember where you've seen it. And because, as you know, familiarity or mere exposure increases liking, you may actually be more likely to like these chips and to buy it. Now, the effect that marketing messages can have on consumers, however, is a lot stronger when the consumer pays full or focal attention to them. But in our overcrowded environment these days, there are too many things that compete for our attention. So then it becomes particularly important to understand the characteristics that make a message or product attention-grabbing. Besides personal relevance, which we already discussed last week, the pleasantness of the stimuli makes a difference. So ads with beautiful images, with music or humor are likely to get more attention. Also, novel, unique and creative offerings or messages that are surprising or controversial are also likely to draw more attention. And finally, how simple or complex a stimulus is also makes a difference. It is easier to process a message when there is little else in the environment that competes for our attention. And stimuli are also easier to process when they are prominent, contrasting, or when they are concrete rather than abstract. What do we mean? For example, look at the words in the table on the slide. You will notice that the words on the left are much easier to understand and to remember. So advertising messages that use these kind of words will get more attention than ones that use more abstract and difficult words.